What's up everybody, it's Sean here today to give you guys an early look at the upcoming Teddy Santis New Balance 990V2 in this navy and Castlerock colorway. Today's video, as always, is brought to you by Heffelux. Heffelux is my all-time favorite sneaker insoles, and they sell eTPU insoles, which essentially is the same material you'll find in Adidas Boost. So if you're looking to add some additional comfort inside your shoes, be sure to check out their website, which I've linked down below in the description box. You'll see they sell a variety of different insoles, so depending on the type of insole density and the cushioning setup you're looking for, you're going to find there's a suitable pair for everyone. So I've been a paying customer of Heffelux for years now, and to me, I personally find them to be extremely comfortable. So if you guys want to check them out and try a pair for yourself, be sure to use the code SEANGO at checkout and get 15% off your entire purchase. So this is the upcoming 990V2 brought to you by Teddy Santis and New Balance. Part of his Made in USA line, Teddy Santis, better known as the founder of Aimé Leon Dore, was named the creative director of New Balance's Made in USA line last year. And this is part of the 16-pair 990 collection, which has been releasing throughout 2022. So this pair releases on August 25th alongside a V3 as well. So if you guys want to see my review of the V3, I'll also add that link down below in the description box. So the official colorway for this pair is New Balance Navy and Castlerock, and the style code is M990TB2. And they're going to retail for a price of $195 US or $275 here in Canada. And fun fact, the colorway of this shoe, it's actually inspired by an original colorway of the New Balance Comp 100, which was a running shoe from the 1970s. So diving into the details of this sneaker, on the toe box, the base layer of the shoe, this is constructed out of a light blue colored mesh. The mesh here is done in this herringbone style weave, and in comparison to the V3, the mesh on the V2s have a bit more of a darker and slightly more matte finish to it compared to the slightly more vibrant take on the V3. Right above this we have this reflective silver 3M layer, and then overlaid on either side of the toe box we have a dark gray colored suede. Surrounding the front toe cap, we have a navy blue colored suede, which feels like it's a very high quality cut of suede. This same suede covers the entire mid panel of the shoe, and the top two eyelets are constructed out of a navy blue colored TPU. Beneath this on the mid panel we have this cutout, revealing this reflective silver New Balance end logo with a secondary layer of white underneath. And then moving downwards, you can see we have more of that same mesh that we saw earlier on the toe box. This covers the top portion of the ankle collar area. And then surrounding the back of the shoe, we have more of that navy colored suede. We have this oval shaped cutout in the center revealing this reflective silver 3M with USA embroidered across in black, and the top of the heel is once again covered in dark blue suede. Beneath this we have this TPU heel clip, which gives you added support and structure for the back end of the shoe. And then as we turn our attention back to the front, in terms of laces, so these come with two different lace options. The standard default lace is a flat style lace which is done in more of a cream sort of tone, but they also give you a secondary flat lace, which is more of a true white. Underneath this, so the tongue is primarily constructed out of that same mesh that we saw earlier on the toe box, but we have a dark gray suede overlay on the top with 990 New Balance Made in USA embroidered across in white. The back of the tongue and the interior of the shoe, this is lined in a white colored textile, and the V2, especially when you compare it to the V3, is quite thinly padded. As for the insoles, so these come with a foam line insole, which is constructed out of a synthetic suede upper in this blue colored tone. And of course on the heel we have New Balance branding stamped on in black. So the upper of the 990V2 sits atop this very dynamic looking absorbed foam midsole. The midsole is done in this cream or sail color, and as always the midsole has a very sculpted and bulbous look to it towards the heel, and on the lateral side of the heel we have this visible absorb which is protruding out this window, which is this blue hit on the heel right here. Finally, turning this pair over to the bottom, here we have your classic 990V2 outsole. This is entirely constructed out of a black colored rubber. We have Absorb branding on the forefoot, along with New Balance branding in the center and the medial edge of the heel. So that breaks down the look and the construction of these V2s. And for those wondering about sizing, so I found that for other past Teddy Santis New Balance 990 V2s that he's released this year, most if not all of them feel like they fit a little bit bigger than standard 990 V2s that I've released in the past. So whereas I normally stick true to size for the V2 because I have slightly wider feet, and the V2 I find is a bit more of a narrow silhouette, for those past Teddy Santis releases, I was for the most part able to go down to a 9.5 without any problems. However, for this pair, so I got these in a 9.5 not knowing any better, and I feel like size 10 or true to size would have been the better bet. I don't know if it's just inconsistencies with the factory and just the way that it was stitched together, but the toe box area right here, it was noticeably snug and is creating a lot of pressure on the sides of my feet right here. So in hindsight, for me at least, size 10 would have been better. Your mileage may vary, it could have been just an inconsistency in the factory, but they definitely felt more true to size than some of the past Teddy Santis V2s. Moving on to the comfort, so the 990 V2, as far as New Balance silhouettes goes, unfortunately it's not the most comfortable model out there. Even though it incorporates Absorb in this midsole, as you can see with the overall shape of this shoe, the forefoot area right here, the midsole is quite thin, so there's not too much cushioning underfoot right here. The heel area is pretty decent. I have really no complaints about this area, but it's kind of unbalanced in that sense because the heel is quite stacked, whereas the forefoot is quite thin. Still, for just an everyday casual use shoe, the V2 will be perfectly fine, and by all means, it still is very comfortable. But when I'm comparing this to, for example, the V3, V4, or V5, it's just not up to that same standard. Finally, in terms of the overall quality and craftsmanship, so first off, material quality, I thought it was very nice. This blue suede felt very nice to the touch. It did seem a little bit ashy in some places, but it wasn't that big of a deal. And similarly, the gray suede on the toe box and the tongue, this felt very nice to the touch as well. And in terms of the overall build and the craftsmanship, so it definitely wasn't perfect. I noticed there's quite a few dried glue throughout this shoe. I had to peel it off myself. And even on the heel on the right shoe, I don't know if you guys can see this, but there's this smidge of glue that just stuck on the suede itself, which was kind of a bummer. But other than that, the shape of the shoe was consistent, the panels were cut right, so it wasn't a perfect pair, but it wasn't bad either. So with all that out of the way now, let me toss these on feet and I'll show you guys how these look. Like I mentioned in the V3 review, this colorway for the V2 especially, it really reminds me of the Kith Steel Blue. If I had to compare the two, I feel like this one has a bit more of a darker tone, it's much more vibrant as well, and there's just a lot more contrast in this pair, whereas for the Steel Blue, it's a bit more muted, a bit more faded, and instead of the cream and vintage hits that this pair has, the Kith one is much more of a true white. So while I personally was very excited for these V2s, honestly, I can't justify keeping both. I already have the Kith V2 as well as the Steel Blue 992s as well. So that's the only reason why I would hesitate to keep this pair in my collection. But if you don't own any of those Steel Blue pairs, I think this is a very worthy replacement. And this pair honestly shouldn't be too hard to grab for retail. So let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about this Teddy Santis New Balance 990 V2 in this navy and Castlerock colorway. What are your overall thoughts on this colorway? And between this one and the V3, which of the two do you guys prefer? For me, because of the comfort, the better fit for my wide feet, and because I already own the Steel Blue 990 V2s from Kith, I gotta go with the V3s, but to be honest, both of these pairs are so beautiful, and you can't go wrong picking either one. If you guys like this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. You can follow me on Instagram at esgo8, check me out on my Twitter account at sean.go, and visit my website at seango.ca. So until next time, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoy this review. Good luck to anyone grabbing these next week, and I'll catch you guys all in my next video.